கூடுதடி சிவனே இறங்கி இந்த பூமிக்கு வந்தானடி அவனே வணங்கி இந்த நன்னால கொண்டாடடி நித்திய சிந்து சிரிப்புள்ள பூலோகமே நித்திய ஆனந்தமாகுதடி
ஆதிசிவபாதமத லோகமெல்லாம் மீண்டும் ஒரு ஞான குருவாக வர வேண்டுதல் கேட்க கேட்ட வரம் தந்து குரு நித்யானந்தனாக நம்ம சாமி அவர் அருணையில வந்து பொறக்க
கேட்கும் யாவையுமே கல்வதருவாய் கருணையோடு அருள் செய்து முடிக்க அவனை நாடி வந்த பக்தருக்கு ஞானம் கொடுக்க நித்திய மனுஷனில் தெய்வம் உண்டு நாம உணர நாடி வந்த பக்தருக்கு ஞானம் கொடுக்க நித்திய மனுஷனில் தெய்வம் உண்டு நாம உணர சிவனே இறங்கி இந்த பூமிக்கு வந்தானடி அவனே வணங்கி நன்னால கொண்டாடடி நித்திய சிந்து சிரிப்புள்ள பூலோகமே நித்திய ஆனந்தமாகுதடி நித்திய சொல்லும் ஒரு சொல்லு தேடி வந்த தெய்வ வாழ்க்கையும் கூடுதடி சிவனே இறங்கி இந்த பூமிக்கு வந்தானடி அவனே வணங்கி இந்த நன்னால கொண்டாடடி நித்திய சிந்து சிரிப்புள்ள பூலோகமே நித்திய ஆனந்தமாகுதடி நித்திய சொல்லும் ஒரு சொல்லில் தேடி வந்த தெய்வ வாழ்க்கையும் கூடுதடி சிவனே இறங்கி இந்த பூமிக்கு வந்தானடி அவனே
Yes. So I hope all of you have taken the photo before and you have manifested this power. So go ahead and take the photo of yourself after this manifestation and verify the power manifestation by comparing these two photos. Whichever part aspect of the body that you wanted to change, have the verification. Take the second photo, take a moment and verify this power manifestation by comparing these two photos, the initial photo that we have taken and the photo that you're going to take now. And please share in the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat. Let us know how you went through this whole power manifestation round. And don't hesitate to share. Also celebrate your manifestation. Celebrating each and every, even the small success is very important. So please go ahead and share. So meanwhile, if go ahead and start sharing. Now we'll be moving on to the special process of pratyahara.
Yes. So just before the darshan, we listened to the revelations from Swamiji on pratyahara, and now the essence of this session. Vasanas, this word means thinking in one direction but acting in another direction. So many of us, most of us have this kind of pattern. We can reflect on that, how sometimes in our life we want something, we desire something, but actually we act in a different direction. And Swamiji says when the Kundalini is awakened, the senses shift. They are no longer ordinary. When the Kundalini awakens, when you experience levitation and other Shaktis, they are happening from the space of oneness. There you will automatically experience Pratyahara. Okay, so now Pratyahara itself means detaching yourself from the unconscious actions and strengthening what you need to cause. Okay, that is the definition.
So now we're going to have a process, special process for pratyahara itself. So I request all of you to sit as a group. If you are in the Zoom, we can pair up and also ask your family members, friends around you to volunteer for this process. And then when you are sitting in the group, start listening to at least one person, helping them to overcome one vasanas they have. As you already are clear with the what is actually the vasana, once again, just for the if you have missed, thinking in one direction and acting in another direction is called vasana. Swamiji says, when Kundalini is awakened, the senses shift. They are no longer ordinary. When the Kundalini awakens, you experience levitation and other Shakti. They are happening from the space of oneness. Then you will automatically experience the pratyahara. So let's get ready. Listen to the person, at least one person, and helping them to overcome the one asana. You will be able to catch at least one asana. So please go ahead and ask in the group. Now this is the important tool that Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving us. This pratyahara is going to be a powerful method for you to form your own sangha, the community, spiritual community, in speaking into people's listening. So please go ahead. Take a moment. We'll be entering into the exercise itself. So let's enter into the whole steps into it. Help people in your group to overcome one vasana. and call at least one person and help them to break one vasana. Make sure not to agitate them.
All right, so here, as you understood, you're going to be calling someone and explain to them what is Vasana, and you can explain them what is the process that you are currently doing, and make them understand, and try to find out, in the conversations, if they are facing this kind of pattern, the Vasana in their life, and make sure that they understand. Don't force them. Make sure to speak in their listening and to be sensitive to them. Remember, even though it's a process for you, finally your context should be to help that person. Okay, so keep that in mind, and so ask them, where do they feel powerless in their life, and are they facing any specific problem? So you can inquire in that way to find out, and once they open up, listen to them, speak into their listening. Okay, so let's begin. You can either do this process with someone near you, or you can call somebody as well, up to you, and we'll be projecting the instructions once again. If you have any doubt, you can let us know. Hope that you are clear on the definition of a vasana: thinking in one direction, acting in another. Okay, so let's begin. You can call someone, start the conversation with them, and help them to break one vasana.
Yes. On this note, I would also want to share one thing. When you start causing others reality, when you help others to break one pattern, one vasana, you also start causing your reality. You also start to break your pattern, one vasana. So let's go ahead and start this process.
Yes. So hopefully you were able to reach out to someone, with a family member, a friend, whoever, and guide them to break one vasana. And if not, then at least just wait for the opportunity, and whenever someone who you feel will have listening for what you speak, whenever you come around that person, you can take a bit of their time and do this process whenever you can. And remember, as we said before, whenever you can help them to break one vasana, then you will also see that the same happens within you as well, and you yourself will have the breakthrough. All right.
Yes.
So with this, let's continue. All of you received the Nkriya initiation before the darshan, and now we will be performing the Nkriya. So we request all of you to be comfortable and settle down in front of the camera, as we will be guiding you through the steps of this Kriya.
Yes. So the first step, as Swamiji in the video itself explained about the Kriya itself. So now we'll be entering into this Kriya itself. So first step of this Nkriya is sit in Vajrasana or Padmasana, whichever is comfortable for you, and perform Nadi Sodhana. So Nadi Sodhana, let's understand what is Nadi Sodhana. When you close your right nostril with the right thumb and inhale deeply as possible through the left nostril. Then close the left nostril with the middle finger and the ring finger together, and exhale through the right nostril. And inhale again through the left nostril. This completes one cycle. So when you close, inhale, exhale, and then inhale through the left nostril. This is one cycle. So you have to do this step for 11 times. So make sure that you repeat this for 11 times. So we'll be projecting you the slide. Let's begin with the first step. Yes, now let's move on to the second step of this Inkriya. In this step, we'll be performing Bhasika Pranayama, which means pull your lower abdomen in and up and exhale like this. And don't shake your whole body. Use the lower abdomen. As a image is already, slide is already being projected. So do this Bhasika for 21 times. Let's continue. Yes, now let's move on to the third step of this Nkriya. The first three steps are actually the preparatory steps for actually entering into the actual Kriya itself. So the third step is Samana Kriya. In this, inhale slowly as possible, then hold as long as possible. Then exhale as slowly as possible. Then keep the lungs empty as long as possible. Make sure that you're not closing your nostrils. It's you inhale as slowly possible with both the nose, then hold as long as possible. Exhale slowly as possible. Keep the lungs empty as long as possible. So do this for 21 times. Let's begin. Let's continue. Yes, so now let's move on to the actual Kriya itself. Now put both the thumbs on your respective ears and close your ears with both the thumbs. Index and the middle finger on your eyes. Bring the ring finger on the nose. Little finger on your lips. This mudra itself is called as Shambhavi mudra. Close all five senses and block the nostrils. Stop the energy going out. Send the whole energy intensely inward. Hold as long as possible. And release when you feel you cannot hold anymore. This is going to be intense. Repeat this step 21 times. Let's begin. Yes. So now let's do the fifth step. Do the intense humming for next 7 minutes. You don't have to chant Om or it's just humming. Continue this for next 10 minutes. Yes. So now we'll be moving on to the sixth step of this Ankriya, which is Shakti Dharana meditation. Now stand on both the knees. Raise your hand towards the sky and connect with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and feel his intense energy landing on you. When you feel full, surrender to the earth with bowing down towards earth. Bring your forehead to the ground and empty yourself. Repeat this process for at least 7 times. Let's begin. Now, the seventh step, sit relaxed, connect with Swamiji, and send healing, compassionate energy, and positive vibrations towards the world. Bless the whole world. Take few minutes and let's perform the final step. Yes, so all of you can relax now after this intense and powerful Nkriya that Swamiji has given. Make sure that you practice this Nkriya. It's a very powerful technique, Kriya, that Swamiji has revealed to the whole world. And many people have practiced this Kriya. And so much of testimonials are there on YouTube itself. They have shared their experiences about this Kriya. It's a very beneficial Kriya. So please continue to practice this Kriya. So now we'll be entering into our next segment.
Yes. So now, all of us in the previous sessions, we learned about Vasana. Okay, one of the important topics of today. So Vasana, you remember, it is when you desire something, but you act in a different way. You go in a different direction. So hopefully you would have called and would have guided someone to break their Vasana. Now you will be spending a bit of time reflecting on your own Vasanas, the Vasana that you have in your life. And the first step, very simple, you're just going to look in and see, write down all the vasanas that you have. So when you think in one direction, but you act in another. Okay, so it could be that, for example, you desire to be a very successful, wealthy person, but actually you act lazy, you don't take much responsibility, you're not very active. So that's a vasana. You desire money, success, but you act in a way that leads you in another direction. So that's just an example. You're going to start by penning down all these vasanas, and then you'll be going through a simple meditation process to break free from all these vasanas. Okay, so now, especially after this kriya, when our kundalini is awakened, today we have gone through many processes, kriyas, meditations. So you see, when you sit with yourself now, when your kundalini is awakened, it's not the same as just passively meditating, contemplating, reflecting on something. You can literally reprogram your inner space. The power of just contemplation and simple decision is enhanced with the awakening of the kundalini that you have. So a simple but powerful process. Let's start with the first step. Just write down all the vasanas that you have. Let's start. Yes. Now you're going to sit comfortably with your eyes closed and tie your eyes. Tie the eye band or any opaque cloth on your eyes and just make a conscious decision that you are going to break all your vasana, that you are really going to do it. Okay. And declare to yourself that you are completing with all your vasanas and that you are going to make all your declarations into reality. If you remember, we already learned how completion is more of a decision than a technique. And most of the time, those vasanas that we have, they persist just because we are not aware of them. We did not do what we did just now in the first step, and because we did not take the decision to break them. And in fact, many times, even when we decide that we are going to free ourselves from our patterns, unless we create this space of completion, first understanding what is the pattern itself, then even our decision to break free from it is more like a struggle, like a fight within ourselves. We decide, okay, we're going to do it today, and then again it doesn't work out, you know. So now with this science of completion and this process that we are doing now, we are leading you through the proper steps to complete and break the pattern once and for all. So if you haven't done it already, tie your eyes with, put the eye band or any cloth and take this conscious decision that you are going to break all these vasanas and hold this space inside you intensely. Let's begin.
So all of you can relax now after this process. Make sure that simple decision, just a decision can liberate you from and break you from your vasanas. Just as when you when you have some addictions, like even the smoking or even the drinking, just share declaration. When you take a strong declaration, you just break that addiction. When you take the strong declaration to yourself, declare to yourself you are going to break your vasanas, then you are going to complete and break those vasanas. So please continue this process whenever you feel time. And as today we have been going through the whole day with various process techniques and on how to tune yourself to the cosmos. We started with this Ashtanga process, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. And today we'll be concluding today's day. And tomorrow we'll be entering into new topic on surrender and bhakti. How Swami says, when you are in bhakti, you are having the ultimate ecstasy. You are in the ultimate ecstasy. So how to deepen your feeling connection? We'll be entering into science itself, science of feeling deep connection. And why the Vatavarana, the ambience, the ecosystem is required for surrendering and practicing the presence of God. So, and of course, the day will be starting with the Nithyananda Yoga, intense 308 asana sequence. So today we'll be closing the day with the Pur Mantra. So let's bring our hands in Namaskar Mudra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashivoham Padukarpanamastu Om Nithyanandam. Thank you.
Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam.
ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्